Okay, good morning, everybody. This is weird with the headphones in. I'm not sure why, but it is. So, happy Father's Day. I want to talk about strength and softness. Today being Father's Day, I thought about how the fathers in my life embodied both of these qualities. My father was strong to be sure, but he also had a vulnerability that those closest to him were able to see, especially in the last 20 years of his life. As for my husband, his role has always been steady and capable. And when my daughter Carly was born, I really saw him open up and become a real softie. Each yoga posture needs to be a combination of both strength and softness, steadiness and ease. Even now, as we're sitting in easy sitting posture, your tailbone is rooted down, your lower abs are pulled in gently, your crown is reaching to the sky. This is the strength in the posture, and then soften through the face, the shoulders, the breath. Without both of these qualities, it becomes difficult to stay present in the posture. Try too hard and you can easily miss the subtleties of the practice and the experience of really tuning into your body. Don't try enough and you can zone out and miss the opportunity to cultivate strength and mobility. But bring the steadiness with the ease and you've got a magical combination. And as always, the lessons we learn on the mat can be taken off the mat as well. When we push too hard in life, when we are struggling, it can help to back off a bit, connect to the breath, and find some ease. As we move through each posture today, keep this in mind. Root down through your lower body, extend up through your upper body, steady your gaze, and then breathe and soften. We don't need to look like the cover of Yoga Journal. If you're struggling in a pose, pay attention to your body and your mind, and try to find freedom and ease. So, let's find that comfortable seat. Your tailbone rooting down, crown of the sky, crown of your head reaching to the sky. And allow your eyes to close and just breathe for a moment. Connect to your breath. Just following the breath in and out of your body. Now allow your eyes to flutter open. And bring your hands to the base of your skull and start to do some head rolls. Pulling up through your thumbs to help traction your neck. You just go in one direction a couple of times. And then pause and go in the other direction. And come to stillness. Allow your arms to come down and start doing some shoulder rolls. Inhaling up, exhaling them back. When you come back, feel your shoulder blades begin to touch in the back. Really getting into your shoulders, getting the juice going there. And then pause and start to roll them in the other direction. Good. Now come to stillness and bring your hands to the sides of your body. Fingertips on the earth. Walk your right hand out to the right. Bring your left arm up. Reach way up to the sky and then stretch on over. So here, feel your left hip point pulling down. Straighten your arm as much as you can. Your head should be an extension of your spine. And keep your gaze steady and your breath deep. One more breath. Inhale that arm down, or exhale down rather. Inhale the other arm up. Stretch up and over. You can walk those left fingertips out a little bit more. Root down through your right hip. Stretch on up. One more breath. And exhale that arm down. Inhale both arms up. And let's exhale and twist over to the right side. So your left hand is on your right knee, right hand behind you. And now inhale up and twist to the other side, and we're going to flow back and forth this way. Each time you come into the twist, make sure the behind hand is close to your tailbone. And keep flowing with your breath. A couple more times. Great, everybody looks great. And then come to stillness and bring your hands to your knees. Let's do some torso circles. So just, let's go to the right side. Just start to spin your torso to the right. I like to say, imagine that your pelvis is a jar of peanut butter and your torso is the spoon, and you're scraping out all the last part of that peanut butter that's left in the jar. And then pause and go in the other direction. Good. Now come to stillness. And let's come to hands and knees and table. And when you get there, set up your table so you're look down at your hands. They should be underneath your shoulders. Your knees should be underneath your hips. And look back through your legs. And you shouldn't actually see your feet. They should be directly behind your knees. Okay, everybody set up? Great. Let's go into cat and cow now. So inhaling and arching your back, pushing your chest through, exhaling, rounding your spine. Connecting with your breath. As you come into cow, look up. And as you come back down into cat, look back through your legs. So your eyes are connected here to the pose. And come to stillness. And let's do some hip circles here. So just coming around to the right, circling your hips. Again, staying with the breath. And being aware of the sensations in your body. And then pause and go in the other direction. Good. And come to stillness. Now I'd like you to bring your right arm out to the right. You're going to spread the needle here, so bring it up out to the right. Follow that hand with your gaze, and then bring the arm down behind your left wrist, and drop your head and your shoulder. And this is called thread the needle. Good. Now take your left hand and walk it a little bit forward and press down into the mat a bit and see if you can deepen your stretch here. Remember what we talked about, right? So you want that steadiness, that strength in the posture, but you also want to soften around that. Breathe deeply. Okay, now walk that left hand back, push into it. Bring that right arm back up, follow your gaze, and come back into table. Good, and let's do the other side. So you're lifting up your left arm now, out to the left, follow it with your eyes, and come down and thread the needle behind your right wrist. Good. You can walk that right hand out a little bit and press down into it. And breathe. And see where you're feeling the sensation here. Is there tightness? Is there some place that you can soften around? One more breath here. And then push into that hand. And again, hold the other arm out and follow it with your gaze and come back into table. Okay, great. Now, let's push back into downward dog. So you're gonna curl your toes under and push back up, straightening your legs. Good. And you can walk your dog here, bending one knee and then the other. Nice. Now come to stillness and walk your hands up to walk your feet rather up to your hands. So you're in forward fold in the front of your mat. If you can get your fingertips to the ground, great, and you can push into that. If you have blocks, terrific. Or you can just bring your hands to your sides of your shins and start to bend your knees and then straighten again. And flow a little bit here to open up the back of your legs. Make sure you're pressing down into the mat with your feet. Bend and straighten a couple more times. Good. Now bend your knees and bring your hips back. Bring your arms up alongside your ears and chair. Now bring your hands down to your knees and cat-cow your back here. So basically you're doing spine flexes, what we did before in table. Good. And press through your feet, bring your arms up, sides of your ears, inhale them up. Grab hold of your left wrist with your right hand. No, you're straightening your legs. Good. Grab hold of your left wrist with your right hand, stretch over to the right side. Make sure your navel is pulled way into your spine here. And inhale up and stretch onto the other side. And you're pressing down through that right foot. Good. Bring your arms down. Now separate your feet about mat distance. Good. Bring your arms to the T position. What I want you to do is bring your right hand down to your left calf, and then bring it up and switch hands and legs, and keep flowing this way, inhaling and exhaling. And feel free to bring up the pace a little bit. Let's move some energy. Good. Inhaling and exhaling. I think Lonnie just said that he calls them windmills. Good. Keep going. Couple more, inhaling and exhaling. Come on up, come to stillness. Bring one hand over the other over your heart. Close your eyes. Breathe and feel. Deep, long breaths here. Now flutter your eyes open. We're going to do breath of joy. I'm going to do this with you because I like it. So you're going to bring your feet just in a little bit, maybe an inch or two. And breath of joy is like this. So it's 3 inhales and then an exhale. So it's inhale, 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 and exhale and bend forward. And let's do it again. Okay, I hope everybody has that. Keep going. Couple more times. One more time and then come to stillness. Again, hands over your heart. Good. Close your eyes. Breathe and feel. It's really amazing how we can move our energy like that. And, you know, think about this. If you're feeling like lethargic or sluggish or just a little off, sometimes it's good to do this, to just move it up a little bit. Of course, sometimes you just need rest, but that's the lesson in paying attention to your body, paying attention to yourself. Okay, open your eyes. Inhale your arms up and bow forward into forward fold. Bring your hands to your shins, lengthen your spine, and then exhale and fold forward again. Place your hands on the mat. Bring your right foot back and your left foot back into plank, which is an upward push-up. And then one breath, and then inhale back up into downward dog. Good. Walk your dog for a moment. Good. And come to stillness. Bring your right foot forward between your hands. Drop your left knee. Make sure that left knee is sent way back. Good. And you're going to be pushing forward onto your right thigh. So you can bring your hands onto your right thigh and just push forward there. And feeling the stretch on the front of your left thigh. And it's okay in this posture for your knee to come over your front toes. And again, make sure that back knee is sent back, as far back as you can get it. Good. And bring your hands behind you at your lower back. If you can clasp them, great. If not, you can also just clasp the elbows. We're not going to bow forward here. I just want you to sink down in your pelvis and pull up through the crown of your head and let your heart come forward on this. And I'm just going to try to make this long. Pull down through those hands if you can. Deep inhale, deeper exhale. And bring your hands down to frame that front foot again. Lift that back knee and you're going to walk yourself over to the left side. You're going to be facing the long end of your mat, wide leg forward fold. Here you go. Is everybody there? Yeah, good. And just stay in stillness for a moment and feel where the tightness is in the back of your legs. Good. Now bend one knee and then the other. And keep your breathing deep. And notice where the tightness is and where can you give yourself some more freedom here. At the same time, you're going to be pressing down into those feet. That's where your steadiness is going to be, right? And relax your face. Good. And come to stillness. And staying in this wide leg forward fold, your legs are straight. Just walk your hands out in front of you into a wide leg downward dog. Good. See if you can keep your hips coming back. Good. Carly, Kevin, looks good. Carly, you're being silly. I can see you. And then walk your hand to the front of your mat and come back into downward dog. And we're going to do the other side. So just stretch a moment here. And then bring your left foot front between your hands. And drop your right knee, send that right knee way back. You're in Anjaneyasana, it's called Anjaneyasana. And come up and press your hand into that front thigh and stretch. And let that pelvis sink down. Good. Now staying in this stretch, bring your hands behind you at your sacrum. Clasp your hands. Pull down on your hands. Pull up through the crown of your head and shoot your heart forward. And those shoulder blades behind you. Imagine that your shoulder blades can touch. Breathe very deeply here. And you're still pushing forward on that front knee. One more breath. Now bring your hands down either side of your foot. And let's walk ourselves around again to the long end of the mat. So we're again in a wide leg forward fold. Good. And now walk your hands over to your right foot and breathe here. And then walk over to the left foot. And come back to center. And then walk yourself again to the front of the mat and into downward dog. You know what, let's lower your knees down all the way to the mat. Bring your toes together, bring your hips back, knees apart, come back into child's pose. Okay, breathe into the back of your heart here. One more inhale and exhale. Let's come back into plank. So you're in an upward push-up again. And lower down to the mat. You can either bring your knees down or come down through bent elbows. So you're resting on the mat, forehead down. Your hands, we're gonna go into Cobra. Your hands are to this, where your ribs are. Your elbows are bent. Good, no one can see Lonnie. Okay, there we go. And what I want you to do is I want you to press down through your legs, tops of your feet, and your pelvic bone. And then I want your hands to be energetically pulling back. And you can see when you start to do that, it'll begin to lift up your shoulders. And then on an inhale, lift up your shoulders and your head and your chest. And then don't let this be about your neck. So if you need to tuck your chin a little bit, please do that. Crown of your head should be coming forward. You should be looking down at the mat. And exhale down. And now what we're going to do is some flowing cobras. So inhale back up to cobra. And exhale down, come to one cheek. And inhale up. And exhale back the other cheek. Good. And just flow like that. Inhaling and exhaling. Couple more times. Make sure you're not compressing through the back of your neck. Good. And then come to stillness and push back into child's again. And rest here for a moment. Imagine that I'm there pushing back on your hips, pushing your hips down. Good. One more breath, and we're going to come back up into downward dog. Okay, everybody up. Good. Great. Now I want you to bring your right foot forward between your hands. We're going to come up into warrior one. So you're facing, your torso is facing that right knee in the front of your mat. Bring your hands to your hips first. Good. Look down at that front foot. You should see just the top of your toes. Your back foot is flat on the mat at a 45-degree angle. Good. Your knee is tracking over that second toe. Okay, great. I think everybody's good. Bring your arms up. Bring them into cactus arms. Tilt your elbows forward a little bit, your hands back. Open up your heart. Make sure your navel is pulled way into your spine here. Now exhale your arms down, your hands behind your sacrum. Roll your shoulder once up and back. Good. Big inhale here, navel in, fold forward inside that knee. Make sure you're pressing back through that back foot and that back leg is firm. That's your steadiness. Keep your breath really flowing. Then inhale up, bring your hands down to either side of that front foot and come back into downward dog. And here you can, if you'd like, you can come forward into plank and lower down into cobra and then push back up into downward dog. Good. And now your left leg comes forward between your hands, again up into warrior one. You can bring your hands first into to your hips. Good. Again, make sure that you can see the toes of the front foot. You're bending deeply. You're pressing back into that back foot, which is at a 45-degree angle. And that front knee is tracking over the second toe. Good. Your navel is in. Nice. Bring your arms up into cactus arms. Again, tilt those elbows forward. Hands come back a little bit. Breathe. Make sure your navel is in. Lift your heart. And then bring your hands down to your sacrum. Clasp your hands if you can. Big, deep inhale. Roll your shoulders up and back and bow forward inside that knee. Good. One more breath. And then bring your hands down, either side of that foot, come back into downward dog. And let's come down into child's pose. And from here, come to a seated position. Your legs out actually in front of you. You could be sitting up on a blanket here. A rolled up blanket is quite nice. Great. And what I'd like you to do is bring the sole of your right foot into your left thigh. Good. And inhale your arms up. And on an exhale, fold forward over that extended leg. And again, feel where the tightness and the sensation is and breathe into that. And inhale up. Now take that bent knee, bring it up so the knee is pointing to the ceiling. Cross it over your left foot. Good. Now wrap your left arm around. Bring your right hand behind you. Inhale, to lengthen, and then exhale to twist. Everybody looks great. On every inhale, I want you to lengthen, reach your crown up. On every exhale, see if you can twist a little bit deeper. The foot of the extended leg should be flexed. That's where your strength is and your steadiness is in this posture. And see where you can soften now. And you soften through your shoulders, back of your neck. One more breath. And then inhale back, center. And let's bring the left knee. You're going to extend now your right foot out, your right leg out. Bring your left foot inside that thigh. Just watching everybody. Good. Bring flex that extended leg, the extended foot. Good. Inhale your arms up. And exhale, fold forward. See if you can release your hands down. You know, in the same way that I was saying in the twist, on an inhale, you're kind of lengthening out. On an exhale, you want to melt forward. So basically, let the breath just breathe yourself into it. Not right now. Sorry, guys. Lonnie's asking questions. One more inhale and exhale. Now inhale up. And now we're going to bring that knee up, bring the foot over. I think it's left leg over right. Bring a big flex into that right foot. You're going to wrap your right arm around the knee. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to twist. Your left hand should be right near your tailbone. And again, every time you inhale, lengthen through the spine. Make sure that the extended foot is flexed. Soften through your shoulders, relax your face. Good. Carly, I feel like you're leaning back too much. Better. Okay. Good. Now inhale and release the twist. Extend your legs out in a V. Bring your right hand just inside your right leg. Bring your left arm up. First, we're extending it up to the sky, creating some length. And then exhale over to the right, over that right leg. I like to keep a flex in that foot. Actually, flex both feet here. Press your legs down. Notice where your head is. It should be an extension of your spine. See if you can straighten that upper arm. Good. And then inhale up. And let's do the other side. So we're gonna inhale, I guess it's our right arm up now. And we're gonna stretch on over to the left. See if you can bring that upper shoulder back just a little bit. Good. And inhale up. Bring the soles of your feet together in Baddha Konasana. See if you can, you may want to kind of lift your butt and send it back here. Good. Good. And then you're going to inhale and lengthen. Exhale, first come forward with your heart leading, and then allow your spine to round and just fold forward. I hope that was clear. Again, feel where there's any tightness and just breathe into it. Let your head go. Good. Couple more breaths here. Inhale up and come to lie on your back, please. And when you get there, just bring your knees up into your chest, wrap your arms around, and roll around a little bit. And come to stillness. Plant your feet with your knees bent. Good. Bring your heels, switch them back as close as you can to your butt. Good. Your arms are on the sides of your body. I'd like you to bend your elbows. So now your hands are up and facing each other in robot arms. Good. Press down through your shoulders, press down through your upper arms, lift your hips up, press into your feet. Keep your chin lifted. You want your heart to be coming towards your chin here. Couple more breaths. And exhale down. Bring your knees back into your chest. Good. And bring your feet down again, knees bent. Bring your right ankle over your left knee. It's almost like you're making a figure four. Good. And now reach through your legs for that thigh and bring it towards you. Bring a stretch to your hip. Everybody there? Scott and Debbie, I can't really see you, but I assume you are. And while you're here, flex both feet, please. Good. Lots of breath. And then release that and switch sides. So I believe it's your left knee now coming over your left ankle coming over your right knee. Yes, and you're gonna bring your hands through and bring that thigh towards you. Good. And your feet flexed, nice. And now release your feet down again. Your knees are bent. Good. So I want you to press down to your feet, lift your hips, and bring them over to the right side. And then bring your knees up into your chest and bring your legs down to the left. And a twist. You can bring your arms out in a T position. See how it feels to bring your knees closer to your chest here. Yep, good. Press back through your lower back here. See if that gives you a little bit more space to release in your shoulders and upper back. Let's try this. Deep inhale and exhale with a sigh. And one more time. Deep inhale, exhale with a sigh. And now inhale your knees up. Plant your feet again. You're going to bring your hips over to, I don't remember which side. Okay. I think everybody knows where they're going. Again, bring your knees up to your chest. It may give you a little bit more freedom here. Good. Press back through your lower back. Deep inhale, exhale with a sigh here. Another deep inhale, exhale with a sigh. Now inhale your knees up. Bring the soles of your feet together so your knees are up towards your chest now. Soles of your feet together. See if you can reach for them. If not, grab your calf or ankle. You can roll a little bit here. Good. And then separate your feet. Let your knees come into your armpits. And then happy baby. Release your head back. It's so much fun to watch people do this. Good. And now release everything down to the mat. Prepare for Shavasana. You earned it. Your legs are straight out in front of you. Your feet splay open. Your arms are at the sides of your body. Your hands are turned gently upwards. And now feel like you're sinking into the earth. And just rest. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Bringing movement to your fingers and your toes. Stretch in any way that feels good. Bring your knees up to your chest. And rock from side to side. And then rock over to the right side. Pause for a moment. And when you're ready, push back into a seated position. With your hands in prayer at your heart center. We're going to close our class and seal our practice with chanting of Om. Inhaling. Om. Hari Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. May we know peace in our hearts, peace in our homes, and peace in the world. Lifting your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows, I honor the light that you are. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you. Lonnie just wants to say something. I will unmute you. Oh, actually, I think you guys have to unmute yourselves if you want to, but Lonnie's going to have to say a word or two. Actually, he can't. He's got to put these in.
No,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Okay.
Happy Father's Day, everybody. And again, in honor of everybody participating in Jackie's class today, we're going to make a donation. And because it's Father's Day, I'm going to donate. 21 years ago, my dad passed away, and we established a fund to send young children to summer camp. This year is going to be a little challenging, but we're going to continue donating to youth activities. And it's in honor of my dad, Sidney Helfand. That's where this week's donation. So thank you, everyone.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Happy Father's
Thank you. Happy
Day.
Father's Day. Thank you. Thank you.
So how should we do the donation? I don't know.
You know what? If you'd like, I can send an email out with details if you'd like.
Please do. I'd
Or
love
just
to.
donation to a
Or just
charity.
donate to any charity that speaks to you, which is also beautiful.
Okay, but send an email out. Sure, I'd love to
I
do
will.
that with you
I
guys.
definitely
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
This was
I'm sorry.
fabulous. Jackie, I really appreciate this. Thank you very much. It was beautiful. It was everything I remember. Yeah.
I'm so glad. It was so nice to see you.
And if you'd like to do more, if you're going to be doing a class or anything, I'd love information.
I'll know.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thanks. So when you go here.
Hold on. I understand this.